Jared Hale never expected to become famous among aliens, let alone legendary. Before everything happened, he was just an emergency medic stationed on the Solace, an interstellar humanitarian vessel assigned to monitor deep space rescue beacons along the frontier. The job was quiet, mostly. Lonely, sometimes. But it was meaningful work, helping whoever needed help, whether human or otherwise. That quiet ended the day they found her. Beginning the encounter in the debris field. The distress signal was faint and flickering, so old that Captain Orin believed it had been drifting for years. The beacon came from a mostly uncharted region between trade routes, a place few ships traveled unless they were lost, fleeing something, or carrying secrets. Debris field ahead, Navigation Officer Lyra announced. Metallic composition. No active systems. Jared stood near the viewport, watching as the Solace drifted into a glittering graveyard of shattered metal, wires, solar fin shards, and hull fragments drifting like dark snow. Then Lyra gasped. "There's a life sign." Jared's heart jolted. Human? No. Humanoid, but unknown physiology. A rescue team deployed immediately. Jared, suited in a lightweight EVA exoframe, followed the others through the drifting debris. They soon found what looked like an escape pod ripped open, the interior scorched black, and inside lay a motionless alien woman. She was unlike anything Jared had ever seen. About human height, but her skin was a pale iridescent silver that shimmered faintly even in the dark. Her hair, long, thin filaments, looked like strands of luminescent frost. Her ears were angled with delicate points, and faint bioluminescent marks glowed across her neck. But she wasn't breathing. "Pulse is collapsing," Medic Torin muttered. "Circulatory system unknown, her blood is crystalline and barely flowing." "Help me get her on the stretcher," Jared said. Her body felt light as they lifted her. Too light, like the bones were hollow. Her chest fluttered with shallow, uneven spasms. "Bring her to med bay, now." The stranger. Hours later, in the med bay, Jared studied her scans. Her blood contained crystalline proteins and luminous cells that refracted light. But the most alarming discovery was the poison inside her, a multi-strain biological agent, engineered and aggressive. "She won't survive the night," Torin said grimly. "We can't break down the toxin. Her cells are failing too fast." Jared stared at the failing vitals. Something inside him refused to let her die, not when they'd found her alive against all odds. "Her immune system fights like ours," he murmured, "but it's overwhelmed. Maybe we can boost the process." "With what?" "We have no compatible donors." Jared exhaled. "Then what about me?" "We use my blood for dozens of other species." Torin frowned. "In most cases, yes. But this is completely alien. It might do nothing. Or worse, cause a reaction. We don't have time to worry. If we do nothing, she dies." Torin hesitated, then nodded reluctantly. "Fine. But we take it slow." Jared rolled up his sleeve. And that one decision would change the galaxy forever. The blood transfusion. When the first drops of his blood entered her system, her body convulsed. Jared's breath caught. Her vitals spiked dangerously. "Stop it." Torin barked. "Wait, look." The spasms slowed, then ceased. The alien's breathing deepened. Her crystalline blood, sluggish before, began pulsing again, rhythmic, strong. Her skin flushed with color, pale blue light rippling across her veins. Torin stared. Impossible. She's stabilizing. But what amazed them even more was that her cells weren't just rejecting Jared's blood, they were bonding with it. His red blood cells dissolved, releasing human proteins that her crystalline cells began absorbing like fuel. "She's adapting your entire biological profile," Torin whispered. "Restructuring parts of her immune system using you. Is that dangerous?" I don't know. Yet she continued improving through the night. And when she finally opened her eyes, glowing white with a faint, swirling silver, she looked directly at Jared. Human, she whispered hoarsely. You saved me. Middle, the truth of who she is her name. Her voice was soft, like a vibrating crystal. She introduced herself as Aurelia, a member of the Elendari, a reclusive race often dismissed as myth. The Elendari were believed to be long gone, wiped out millennia ago. But Aurelia explained. We did not die, we hid. Our enemies hunted us for what flows in our veins. You mean the crystalline blood? Jared asked. Aurelia nodded slowly. It contains rare properties. Energy, memory, adaptability. Many would kill to possess it. So the toxin in your system. An engineered weapon designed specifically to destroy Elendari blood. Someone found us. Jared felt a chill. Then we weren't rescuing a lost traveler. We were rescuing a survivor. Aurelia's expression tightened, grief flickering across her luminous eyes. My ship was attacked. The toxin was released. I fled in the escape pod, but I thought I would die there. She looked at him with a strange intensity. Until you. Unexpected changes. Within 48 hours, Aurelia could stand and walk. Her strength returned far faster than anything Jared anticipated. But along with her recovery came changes. Her bioluminescent markings glowed brighter whenever Jared approached. Her heart rate synchronized with his when they stood close. And the scans showed something even stranger. Aurelia, Torin said cautiously, your internal energy matrix, your bloodstream, is still integrating human proteins. Aurelia touched her own chest. I can feel it. My body changed, to survive. Jared swallowed. Is that safe? She gave him a small, warm smile. It feels natural. As if your blood awakened dormant parts of me. But soon the changes grew far beyond healing. The discovery. On the 5th day after her rescue, Aurelia collapsed during a routine exam. Jared caught her before she fell. What's wrong? Are you in pain? She clutched her abdomen, breathing hard. I do not know. Torin rushed in with a scanner. And froze. Jared, you need to see this. The medbay monitor projected a holographic anatomical model of Aurelia. A cluster of crystalline cells glowed brightly inside her lower abdomen, multiplying, organizing, forming patterns. Patterns that were unmistakably embryonic structures, Torin whispered. But that's impossible. Jared's lungs seized. She's pregnant. Aurelia stared in shock at the hologram. But Elendari can only conceive with another Elendari. And only through ceremonial bonding. It should be impossible. My species cannot cross with others. Torin swallowed. Then how? Aurelia turned to Jared, voice trembling. It is your blood. It merged with mine, and awakened dormant reproductive protocols. Jared felt dizzy. You mean, my blood made you pregnant? Aurelia stepped closer, placing a glowing hand over her chest. Jared, your blood did not just heal me. It linked with me. It acted as a catalyst. It carries your genetic signature. She guided his hand toward the glowing hologram. This life inside me carries part of you. The ship's panic. The moment Captain Orin heard the news, the ship erupted in chaos. This is a diplomatic nightmare, he said, pacing. We have no idea what that hybrid could become. Or what her people will think if one of their own becomes pregnant by a human. Torin added, Elendari genetics are volatile. If the embryo grows too rapidly, Aurelia could be in danger. Aurelia stiffened. This child is not a danger. It is a miracle. We don't know that, Orin argued. We're dealing with a race that shouldn't even exist anymore. Jared felt anger rising. She's alive because of us. We owe her protection, not fear. But the captain was firm. The council needs to be informed. This is bigger than all of us. Aurelia's luminous eyes dimmed with worry. If the council learns of this, they will want to experiment. Study me. Study the child. Jared stepped forward immediately. Then they'll have to go through me. She stared at him, stunned. Why would you risk so much for me? Because you're not a science project. And because I'm the reason this happened. I won't abandon you. For the first time since waking, Aurelia looked afraid. Not of dying, but of being taken. The hunters arrive. 3 nights later, alarms wailed throughout the ship. Unidentified vessel approaching. Hostile energy readings. Aurelia went pale. Them. The ones who hunted my people. They tracked my blood signal. A massive black ship emerged from behind a drifting asteroid, sleek, silent, predatory. Its hull bore crimson markings, the Vrax Dominion. The captain shouted, shields up. Prepare evasive maneuvers. A laser beam slashed across the Solace's hull, shaking the entire vessel. Jared grabbed Aurelia's arm. We need to get you somewhere safe. She shook her head. No. They want me and the life inside me. They will not stop. Another blast rocked the ship. Tauren ran in. We must get her to the engine core. Shielded, multiple layers. It's the safest place. But as they ran, Aurelia suddenly gasped, collapsing to her knees. Aurelia. She was glowing, radiating bright blue-white light that flickered like a heartbeat outside her body. What's happening? Jared cried. She gritted her teeth. The embryo, it reacts to danger. It amplifies my energy. It is trying to protect me. Blue luminescent energy rippled across the walls, vibrating through the ship. Tauren stared in awe. It's generating a defensive resonance. Then the power surged. The entire Solace hummed with radiant light, Aurelia's energy expanding outward in a wave. Outside, the Vrax Dominion ship's weapons sputtered. Another pulse erupted, stronger, sending a shockwave through space. The enemy vessel was thrown backward, spinning. They're retreating. Orin shouted over comms. That blast, it disabled their systems. Aurelia sagged, the glow fading. Jared caught her as she fell unconscious. The child that could change everything. When Aurelia awoke hours later, the ship was safe, the attackers gone. Jared sat beside her, worry carving deep lines on his face. Are you okay? She nodded weakly. The energy was not mine alone. It was ours. She placed his hand gently against her abdomen. This child will not be ordinary. It will be Elendari yet carry human traits. It may resurrect abilities my people lost long ago. Jared swallowed. What happens now? Aurelia gave him a small, hopeful smile. Now, we decide together. Ending, the choice and the future the council arrives. Within days, the Interstellar Council sent a delegation. The Solace was ordered to dock at a neutral station. Tension filled every corridor, scientists, diplomats, and military officers crowded the vessel, desperate for answers. Aurelia stood before them, wearing simple clothes Jared had given her. She looked calm, but he sensed her fear. A council scientist asked coldly, "Is it true your condition is the result of direct human genetic integration?" Aurelia lifted her chin. Yes. And it is not a mistake. It is survival. Evolution. And the father, another asked. Jared stepped forward. That would be me. Whispers exploded through the chamber. Human genetic contamination. Interspecies breach. A biological threat. Aurelia suddenly spoke, her voice ringing with crystalline clarity. This child is not a threat. It is a bridge. A connection between two ancient races. My people hid to survive. Humans explore to grow. Together, perhaps we can do both. The room went silent. Her words had weight, ancient, powerful, undeniable. The council withdrew to deliberate for hours. The decision. When they returned, the lead delegate addressed the ship. Aurelia of the Elendari. Jared Hale of Earth. We cannot predict what your child will become. But after review, we have chosen the path of cooperation, not fear. Aurelia exhaled shakily. You will be given sanctuary, the delegate continued. Medical support. Freedom. And protection from the Vrax dominion. Jared felt a massive weight lift from his chest. They were safe. And the child was safe. The final moment. Later, as the station lights dimmed into simulated nighttime, Jared and Aurelia sat together in the observation dome. Stars drifted slowly outside, soft, endless, ancient. Jared, she said softly, when you first gave me your blood, you did more than save my life. You created a future I never imagined possible. He smiled, brushing a lock of luminous filament hair from her face. I didn't mean to cause all of this. You did not cause it, she whispered. You began it. She took his hand and guided it gently back to her glowing abdomen. You gave me life when I was dying. Now I carry life, that carries you. Jared felt emotion swell inside him, fear, awe, responsibility, wonder. What do you want to do next? He asked quietly. Aurelia watched the stars. I want to stop running. I want to rebuild my people. And I want you beside me if you choose. Jared squeezed her hand. I'm not going anywhere. Aurelia leaned her forehead against his, their lights mingling, his soft, warm human glow, hers crystalline and ancient. Together, they looked out into the vast, endless galaxy. A new future was waiting. A future born from a moment of compassion. And a single drop of human blood.